why we require a block diagram reduction technique. Okay, so if we take a look into the example, so you can see over here we have a system representation with the help of block diagram, and in that particular system we have number of gains available over here. We have a number of summing points and takeaway points. Okay, this particular system is quite difficult to solve, and the transfer function is very difficult to get from this particular system. For that, we need to learn few specific tools by which we can simplify this particular system and find a transfer function. So we have few rules over here. Suppose if we have a blocks which are connected in series. So first rule is when the blocks are connected in series, or we know if the blocks are connected in series, we call this particular configuration as a cascading system, okay, or a cascade system. So we know the equivalence of these particular blocks are nothing but a multiplication of G1, G2, G3. Okay, since we are representing the things in Laplace domain, okay, which is a frequency domain, that's why we have multiplied the system. But if we talk about the time domain thing, let us suppose if this is a G1t, G2t, and this is a G3t, then we represent this particular block in the form of convolution. Okay, so we have what? G1t convolve with a G2t convolve with a G3t. Okay, so we have this particular representation. Next is, suppose if the blocks are connected in parallel. So now you can see over here we have one summing block over here. Okay, so the purpose of this particular summing block is to add a input from a multiple path. Suppose if I have a input R over here, and that particular input is now moved to this particular direction, this direction, and in this particular direction with again G1, G2, G3, and all are added up to this particular summing block. Okay, so now you can see the output of CS is nothing but a G1 minus G2 plus G3. Okay, so we have, whenever we have a blocks connected in parallel, I can simply represent it in this particular form. Okay, next is, suppose if I have multiple summing points. Okay, so as you can see over here, we have this summing point and this summing point. Let us suppose this is summing point S1 and this is summing point S2. Okay, and in summing point S1 we have two inputs applied. First one is a and second one is a B. Okay, and after the summing point S1 we have again connected one more summing point S2. Okay, so in between there is nothing present over here. Okay, we have only gain one because it is directly connected over here. So we have a summing point S2, and in that particular summing point the output of summing point S1 is acting as an input, and one more input we are providing over here as a C. So now you can see the output we get from this particular thing is what? Over here we have got a plus minus B, and that a plus minus b applied to S2, and we get overall output as a plus minus b plus minus c. But since, suppose for an instance, if I want to move these particular summing points, okay, if I want to move summing point S2 to a position S1 and S1 to a position of S2, then in that particular case, again the input is same. Okay, then in that particular case what I have to do is, we have a C, okay, which is applied over here, and we have a B which is applied over here. So now you can see the output is not changing when we move a summing point, okay, or when we shift two consecutive summing points. So again, the output value is same over here. Okay, so now you can use this particular rule. Okay, when you have to move a summing point in a complex block diagram, then you can easily do this particular thing because the output is same. Okay, but you have to uh, remember that there is nothing in between two summing points. Okay, so it is directly connected. The two summing points are directly connected, or we have a gain value of 1 over here. Okay, now the third rule is adjustment of a block gain. Suppose over here, as you can see, we have a R input applied to a gain block, and that particular gain block produces a output C, and we have one more point over here, and it again takes a value T, and which is nothing but equal to C. Okay. So now you can see, we know the C is nothing but a R into G. So over here T is also R into G. So now if I move this particular T, okay, or I can call it as a takeaway point, if I want to move this particular thing to this location. Okay, suppose if I want to move the point to T over here. Okay, so now what I want the output to be same over here in a T. Okay, from T also I want the same output. So when we move takeaway point before a block, okay, so we have this particular G block and I am moving this takeaway point before a block, then I have to add one similar gain block over here. Okay, so that the output could get matched with a previous condition. Okay. So now you have to keep this thing in mind. This rule is very frequently used to reduce a block diagram. Okay, so when we move a takeaway point from this particular location to before a block, so we have to add the similar gain block in this particular takeaway point. Okay, and in the second case, suppose if we have a takeaway point over here, and if I want to move this particular takeaway point after a block G. Okay, over here we have a before a block. Now over here we want to move this takeaway point after a block G. So now you can see we have over here T which is equals to R, but C which is equals to what? R into G. So if I move this takeaway point at this particular location, we have what? T which is equals to R into G. So I want to reduce a G from this location. So what I have to do? I simply provide one gain block which is nothing but a inverse of a G over here. Okay, so now you can see the output is same in both the cases. Okay, we have R into G, and again if I multiply R over here, so at that instant we have the value R into G. Okay, and when that R into G applied to this particular block, this G and G cancelled and we get T equals to R. So now we have a value T equals to R over here and T equals to R over here. Okay, next rule is the adjustment of a block gain and a summing point. Suppose if I have a summing point which is after a block G, okay, and I want to move this particular summing point before a block G. So right now we have a output C which is equals to R into G plus minus B. Okay, but when I move this particular block over here, we have to make a few changes. Okay, so now you can see if I modify the diagram in this way. Okay, so this is the same. So now we want the same output. Okay, if we move the summing point before a block gain or a gain point, the output could not be changed. Okay, so we have a G over here. So R, with the R we get a G, but now we want the component of B also over here. Okay, so uh, that B component, if I directly applied a B over here, then R and B would get add up and then multiplied with a G. So overall we get RG plus BG. So over here what I have to do, I have to apply one block in which we have a inverse of this particular block gain, and this is a input B. Okay, so we have, so now you can see we can write it as 1 plus minus B by G. So when this particular thing multiplied with G, we get what? RG plus minus B. Okay, so in a second case, suppose if I want to move a summing point which is available before a block, and I want to move the summing point after a block. Okay, so right now you can see the output C over here. So this is plus minus B. So output is nothing but a RG plus minus BG. Okay, since I am moving over here, what I have to do? I have to multiply one gain point. Now you can easily understand how we can add the gain blocks. Okay, so we have what? B over here, we have G over here, we have R over here, G over here. Okay, so we get a similar output over here. So now you can see we have RG plus minus BG. Okay, so we get a same output. So now one thing is common over here. When we move backward, I have to add a block and I simply put 1 by G over here. But when I place a summing block after a gain block, then I have to simply write a gain block in this particular input. Now, the sixth rule is adjustment of a summing point and a takeaway point. Okay, so over here now you can see we have one summing point and afterwards we have a takeaway point. Okay, so now you can see when we apply input to this particular summing point, so a plus minus b, so we get a output is nothing but a plus minus b, which is equals to this takeaway point a plus minus b. But since if I move this particular thing over here, okay, so a plus minus b, I am moving a takeaway point at this particular location. So to get a output at t, okay, we know we have a b over here which is applied to this summing point. Okay, now the t value is also a plus minus b, so I have to add one more summing point over here, and in that particular summing point we have to add a component of b. Okay, because the a is applied over here, now a is applied over here and the component b is applied to this summing point over here, and we get a t which is equals to a plus minus b. Okay, so when we move a takeaway point before a summing point, we have to add one more summing point with an input of b. Okay, similarly if I have a takeaway point over here and I want to move this particular takeaway point in this particular location. Okay, so now what I have to do, I have a summing point over here. Okay, and I am moving a takeaway point at this particular location. Okay, so to match a output at this particular location, which is a plus minus b, now the t is equals to a. Okay, so over here we have a plus minus b applied. Okay, so now to match the value of t over here, so the value of t should be a, but in this particular point we have a plus minus b. Okay, so we have to add one summing point over here, and the value of this particular summing point is nothing but a minus plus. Okay, so if we have a plus minus over here, then I have to add a minus plus over here. The reason is over here we have got a plus minus b. Okay, and that a plus minus b is applied over here also. Okay, and if I want to match with a, I simply use this particular block with a reverse of a sign to get a value a over here. Okay, so we have what a plus minus b and minus b plus. Okay, so we get what in this particular location we have a plus minus b and minus plus b. So these both get cancelled out and we get a value a over here. Okay, so now you can see when we move a takeaway point before a summing point, then we have to add one more summing point in a path of t. But if I move a takeaway point after a summing point, then we have to move. Then we have to add one more summing point with a reverse of a sign, which is applied in a previous summing point. Okay. So in next class, we learn about few numericals and techniques to reduce a block diagram.